Okay, we're now on the record for Tuesday afternoon's criminal docket, October 26, 2021. I'll take quick announcements, signify with a reaction button. Mr. Al Alvarez.
Your Honor, I have Ernesto Alonso Morales. He has 4 cases on the court's docket. CR 2005 5859I 00853 854 and 855. And we're just asking for a trial date. He's in jail.
All right, then that's number 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18 in the court's docket. Deputy, can you please bring up Ernesto Morales?
I don't show a Morales on my list, Judge.
Okay, well, he's gonna be set for trial anyway. Is he, do you know, Mr. Alvarez, is he in another facility?
Not that I'm aware of, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, so then you're asking for trial settings on these matters. Does he still have his felonies pending?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay.
He does.
We'll come back. Mr. Alvarez, on the CR 21-05828-I on the terroristic threat of a family member or household member of the Class A, you're substituting in for Mr. Reyes?
Yes. Brenda
Okay.
Reyes.
If you can please have your motion for substitution and notice of appearance filed so that I can grant it on that, because we're not showing.
Very good, Your Honor.
Okay, so just for clarification, so at this time he's being held on the felony cases, is that correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Then we'll see him back here on January the 25th at 1:30.
Yes, Your Honor. That's all I have, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes, sir. Okay. And Ms. Cantu del Bosque?
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
I have number 56.
Okay. That is CR 20-01567-I, State of Texas versus Kevin Reyna. Is Mr. Reyna present?
I'm not sure, Judge. We did inform him of the login. And
Kevin Reyna, will you please announce yourself? Kevin Reyna. Do you see him on the screen anywhere?
Judge, I haven't met with him, so I don't know what he
Oh.
looks like. And Judge, on this particular case, we're applying for a pretrial diversion. I did have a conversation with your prosecutor earlier today. Only problem is that my client lives in Houston, so I'm trying to figure out a way to get that done. If I could just get a short reset so that I can try to get him applied and make sure that he'll be okay without a UA, Judge.
Okay. Well, I don't have a problem giving you the time, but I do need for him to check in with us since he is aware of today's hearing.
Okay.
And if he doesn't, then I'm going to have to issue a nice sign. But how much time are you requesting?
Judge, I'm just asking for a couple of weeks. I've been texting with him all morning. I'm not sure why he's now not responding.
I have November 16th at 1:30.
That's perfect, Judge.
Okay. And we'll call him at the end of the docket, so he has until the end of the docket to get on.
Very well, Judge. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Mr. Arredondo?
Good afternoon, Judge.
I didn't recognize you without your jacket.
Sorry, Judge. I was running late, but I'm present. Judge, I have number 41 on your docket, Lizette Cardenas, and she's present on Zoom, Judge.
Okay, CR 21-02868-I. Ms. Cardenas, can you please announce yourself?
Yes, miss, I'm here.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Arredondo.
Judge, we submitted a PTD, Judge, which was denied, Judge, but I did speak with Mr. Eduardo Sosa this morning. He's extended an offer to us, which we're going to accept. We just need about a two-week reset, Judge, so I can send my client.
Okay. November 16th at 1:30.
November 16th, we'll be ready, Judge.
Okay,
Thank you, Judge.
Judge,
hold
I
on.
may just,
Yes.
Connie with probation, she does have some violations on her mobile report, Judge. She does have her device with sober sense. She had 3 missed tests and 5 late tests.
Is this her first admonishment?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Ms. Cardenas, I need for you to understand, ma'am, that violations such as missed tests, late tests, alcohol violations are not going to be tolerated. Even if you do qualify for the plea and you enter it, if you continue to have violations, I may not accept it. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
So if you have problems with the device or if you have problems with the testing window, then I would suggest that you get with the probation department as soon as possible. Do you understand me?
Yes, ma'am.
What is your phone number?
956-996-5991.
This will be your last warning, ma'am. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Anything else, Mr. Adelondo?
Judge, that's all I have. Maybe excuse.
You certainly may.
You judge have a great day.
Thank you. You too. Okay, Mr. Cantu?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I have 3, 4, 5, and 6, Elias Aceves. He is a Spanish speaker.
Okay, that's CR 21-05527-I, CR 21-07946-I, and CR 21-07947-I, and CR 1813128-I. The state of Texas versus Elias Aceves. Ms. Castañeda, can you please ask Mr. Aceves if he can hear us?
Mr. Aceves, ¿nos escucha?
Okay. I know he's having a hard time with the mute button, but I do see him there. And what is your announcement, Mr. Cantu?
We just need jury trial dates, Your Honor.
Okay.
We could try the oldest one first, I guess.
Okay. So we're gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and give you a trial set. Let me see. Ms. Rivera, were we going to, for the sake of efficiency, set him for a status in January and give the settings at that time? Or are we prepared to give them now?
Judge, we're prepared, whatever your preference is, Your Honor, is fine.
Okay. Well, it's because I want to give them and we're gonna go with them. You know what I mean?
Yes, ma'am.
This is what we'll do, Mr. Cantu. I'm gonna have you come back on January the 25th on all of them, and then I'll give you firm dates. And
Yes, ma'am.
now that he's out and he's shown that he can show, Mr. Aceves, por favor, se quita la cachucha. Quítate la cachucha, Mr. Aceves. Gracias. He can come back on January 25th at 9:30. Ms. Castañeda, let him know.
Mr. Aceves, su próxima corte es el 25 de enero a las 9:30 de la mañana.
Okay. He may
I'll
not
give him
be
a
able.
call.
Yes, give him a call.
I would.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Anything else?
That's all. You all have a great afternoon.
Okay, thank you. You too.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Okay. All right, Mr. Rodriguez, Julian Rodriguez.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Good afternoon, sir.
We're here on, it looks like on your docket, Your Honor, it's number 1.
Okay, so then we were going to see if Mr. Bettis, right?
No, if Mr. Pettis should be incarcerated still.
And then was Mr. Alvarez still representing him?
Yes, on the divorce, yes, and he has a different attorney on the criminal case.
Okay, Deputy, do you have Francisco Perez with you?
No, ma'am, I don't show up Perez on my list.
Mr. Rodriguez, do you know if he's still in Hidalgo County?
I have no idea, Judge. I only has been speaking since ever he's got a lawyer now. I really have been just tracking him through his attorney.
Okay, well,
I'm sorry, Judge.
go ahead, Ms. Rivera.
If I can have his date of birth?
Does your client know his date of birth?
Fecha de nacimiento?
10-4-80.
10/4/1980.
Yes, Judge, he's still incarcerated.
In Hidalgo County, is that what you're showing?
Yes, ma'am, and he does have a setting tomorrow afternoon for a pretrial jury trial, November the 1st.
November the 1st.
Okay, so we can wait for Mr. Alvarez if you'd like, but they didn't bring him in, they didn't bring in Mr. Perez.
Right.
I'm not sure, why, but.
Right. We were set for trial, and this is one of those cases, Judge, that I just basically need to know. My client has requested that we wait until we find out what's going on with his criminal cases, if the court would be obliged to us having a DCC, rather than resetting this case like we've been doing almost every 60 days.
Well, it looks like he's set for trial for Monday. Doesn't mean it's going to go. I don't know how they're doing on the jury panels.
Right.
But what we can go ahead and do is, what's the next DCC date that we have, Ms. Rivera?
Judge, we have next Friday, the 5th at 2:30.
Okay. Then we'll set you up for a DCC on this for November 5th at 2:30, and let's see what happens with Mr. Perez on Monday.
Okay, that'll be great, Your Honor.
Okay, yeah.
I will advise my client, she's a Spanish speaker, so I'll explain it to her, Your Honor. She's present, and that's all I have before the court, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Okay, Ms. Monsiváis?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I have number 8 and number 9 on the court's docket. He's a jail case.
Okay, CR 210969-I, CR 20-07411-I, State of Texas versus Gerardo Benavides Jr. Deputy, do you have Mr. Benavides with you?
Yes, ma'am. He's coming.
Okay. Is Mr. Benavides English speaking or Spanish speaking?
English.
Okay.
Judge, we've been given an offer by the state. I respectfully ask the court to see if you would consider putting us in a breakout room for like 3-4 minutes.
Sure. With your client?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, one moment. Okay, Deputy, I'm going to ask you to accept the invitation so that Mr. Benavides can speak to his attorney. Okay, Attorney Austin Oxford.
Good afternoon, Judge. Long time no see.
Good afternoon.
I've got 25 through 33, State of Texas versus Joel Quintana. I'm not certain that he's in Hidalgo County. It's my understanding that he was in Corpus Christi, but they may have transferred down.
Okay, let them come back in. Ms. Monsiváis is using the breakout room to speak to her client. So the jail's in that breakout room right now.
Okay.
So as soon as they come back, I'll recall you.
Very well, Judge. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Reyes?
Good afternoon, Judge.
Good afternoon, sir.
Your Honor, I have number 53 and 54 on the court's docket. Jamie Lee Perez. She is.
Okay. Go ahead.
I see that she is logged in, Judge. I just recently did get word and was informed that my client was denied the PTD. And so I would ask for more time at this time, Judge. I need to speak with her and discuss our options.
Okay, CR 20-09014-I, CR 20-09013-I, State of Texas versus Jamie Perez. Jamie Perez, will you please announce yourself?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm here.
Okay, so how much time are you requesting, counselor?
Your Honor, I would request an additional 30 days, and that'll allow me to see what the reason was why she was denied and see what we can do.
Okay, so do you want to change her to the status docket or keep her on the plea docket?
It'll be status, Your Honor.
December 2nd at 9:30.
Thank you, Judge. That concludes my business this afternoon, Your Honor. Myself and my client be excused.
Yes, Ms. Bettis, we'll see you on December 2nd at 9:30 a.m., ma'am.
Thank you, Miss.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Okay, Attorney Arturo Garcia?
Good morning, Judge. I believe we're ready for a PTD plea. It's number 51 on the court's criminal docket.
Okay, right now I'm taking quick announcements and I'll get to the pleas and placements in just a moment.
No problem, Judge.
Okay, and anyone else with a quick announcement before we move on to the pleas? Okay. Is there a way to check, Miss Rivera, if oh, there they are. Okay, Mr. Oxford, you are saved. Hold on. Deputy, well, let me see if Miss Monsiváis comes in. Let me finish with her announcement and then we'll go on to you.
Judge, we're ready.
Okay, so what is your announcement, Counselor?
Your Honor, Mr. Benavides will be accepting a dismissal on these two cases, but he must plead to the 206 two DWIs. I had asked him if he wanted a trial on those and plead probation on the cases in your court, but he's accepting the rec from the 206.
Okay, so then how much time are you requesting in order to get him signed up on that one?
We are set for November the 4th. So if you can set us after that, just so that your prosecutor can get the judgment from the 206.
Okay, November 9th at 1:30.
Thank you, Judge. We have nothing further. May we be excused?
You certainly may.
Have a good day.
Thank you. One moment. Okay, so then, Mr. Oxford, let me ask the deputy, do you have Joel Quintana in custody?
Quintana Joel?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. He's coming.
Your Honor, on this case, Mr. Chapa did speak with your prosecutor earlier today and discussed what we can do with these cases. He's already pled to in the felony case, Judge. I do believe it can be resolved. It's just a matter of getting a formal recommendation from the state, Judge.
Okay. Now, let me go ahead and call the cases. CR 1902109-I, CR 21053363-I, CR 21053662-I, CR 21053661-I, CR 200626-I, CR 200625-I, CR 1910965-I, CR 1910964-I, CR 1814568-I, and CR 1814567-I. So how much time are you requesting in order to try to get this resolved?
Judge, I think we can probably do it. What do you think, Eddie?
I'm sorry, you're cut off.
Oh, I'm sorry, Judge. I would say 2 to 3 weeks, Judge. I think we can probably get resolved. Would you say so, Eddie?
I think so.
Okay.
Okay, so is he still having, what felony court is he in?
The 430th, Judge.
And he still has that revocation pending?
No, Judge. I believe that was resolved as well.
Okay. Did somebody else say something? Okay, go ahead.
I was going to say, my instruction for the felony prosecutors was to time serve all these cases. However, defense is requesting, consideration. We might, pending my staffing with the felony prosecutors, dismiss a couple of these. But we have all the paperwork ready. It's just a matter of seeing whether we can actually dismiss a couple of these.
Okay, and just so Mr. And that'll be pending the court's approval once you have everything. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So then, what, Mr. Oxford, then 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or?
Judge, I would say 3. I'll meet with Mr. Sosa sometime, either this week or next week and try and
November 18th at 1:30?
Judge, it'll be the 16th, Your Honor.
Oh, okay, November 16th, sorry about that. November 16th at 1:30.
Thank you, Judge. That concludes my business before this honorable court. May I be excused?
Yes, you certainly may.
Have a good day to both you and your staff.
Thank you, likewise. Okay. Okay, Mr. Trejo, do you have an announcement or is your plea or placement ready?
Judge, I have 2 cases. One of them is a quick announcement. The other one is plea.
Okay, what's your quick announcement?
The quick announcement is number 57, State of Texas, Arturo Zuniga Jr., CR 19-13276I. He's present in my office, Judge. We have the plea papers for a PTD, and he's going to sign today, and we can be ready for the next available plea date, Judge.
Mr. Trejo, I sent the first set of documents. I forgot to include the waiver pages. I resent the paperwork. I just want to make sure that y'all use the second paperwork and disregard the first. My apologies on that.
Oh, okay, thanks for telling me. I'll make sure. I'll look through the emails.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Mr. Trejo, so how much time are you requesting?
1 or 2 weeks, Judge.
Okay, November 16th at 1:30.
Thank you, Judge. May my client be excused?
Yeah, does he have a device, Ms. Soto?
I have no record, Judge.
Okay. All right, then he may be excused.
And I have, my next case is a plea, Judge, whenever the court's ready to set up.
Okay, so is everyone else here on a plea or PTD placement? Okay,
Your Honor,
Then-
may I make a quick announcement on a jail case, please?
sure.
Yes, Your Honor. Jose Osuna, for the record, we have number 12 and number 13, CR 20-08926I and CR 21-03529I. Both of them are styled State of Texas versus Adrian Mendiola. Your Honor, I was awaiting a response from the state, and then I discovered that I had transfixed the numbers. It was actually on me, not on the state. We do anticipate a plea on this case, but I need to scramble and get them signed up due to my error. So I'm humbly asking for 1 week.
Okay, is Mr. Mendiola present?
Your Honor, if I may,
Yes.
he's been sent to TDC.
Oh, jeez. Okay. I'll staff this matter with the state, Your Honor, to see if they'd be inclined to dismiss. One of them is a theft, but I think there is no restitution issues. So I'll staff the matter with the state.
Okay. All right, then just let us know what happens on it. What's the best thing, Ms. Rivera? Do I set a tickler so I don't lose it, or you just want to?
Judge, yes, the ticker will be fine, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll just set a tickler for November the 5th and see what happens within the next week, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Okay, all right, Mr. Mendiola. Best of luck to you, sir. Okay. Don't be so down on yourself, Jose. It's okay, things happen.
Yes, Judge, it was my mistake.
I saw the look on your face right away. All right, I do need to take a quick 2-minute break, just real quick 2 minutes. We're off the record. Okay, sorry about that. All right. I'm just like y'all trying to juggle mom duties and try to be on here at the same time. So, or parent duties or whatever, daughter duties or son duties, any kind of duty, right? Our personal life doesn't stop just for this. So, okay, so we're back on the record. And let me go ahead. So, Mr. Villarreal, Calixto Villarreal, are you still on? You're on mute, sir. Calixto Villarreal, you're on mute.
Can you hear me, Judge?
Yes, so you have a protective order hearing on P0180-21-9, Rosita Garcia versus Agapito Garcia, but I don't see anyone here from the state. Did you all reach an agreement?
We've been resetting that matter, Judge. The main matter, the criminal, is still pending. So that matter will be reset if the state is there by agreement, Judge. He is in custody, Your Honor.
Okay, so Ms. Rivera, did anyone check in from the state?
Not to my knowledge, Your Honor.
Okay, so the last protective order was extended. Did they file it, the extension?
Let me clarify, Your Honor. Give me.
Okay, please.
I also have jail case, Judge, ready for a plea when the court is available.
Yes, I'm gonna take those up next right now.
Yes, Your Honor. There was an extension. For whatever reason, I can't click on it, but we have it set for November the 30th.
Oh, okay. So, Mr. Villarreal, it'll be November 30th at 1:30.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So, Mr. Garcia is excused, Deputy. November 30th at 1:30, Deputy. Okay. So let me get my pleas and placements. All right. So Mr. Gonzalez, Francisco Gonzalez, Attorney Francisco Gonzalez, do you still have Israel Rubalcaba?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so Deputy, do you have Mr. Rubalcaba there?
Spanish speaker, Judge.
Okay. So that is, give me one moment. CR 20-07098-I, CR 21-04144-I, CR 21-04143-I, CR 21-04351-I, CR 21-0228, oh no, I'm sorry, just up to CR 21-04351-I. That's number 35 and through 38 on the court's docket. And what is your announcement, Mr. Gonzalez?
Yes, Your Honor. I think the state is going to ask for some more time, Your Honor. I'm okay with it, but I have an objection to it with jail. He served his time. He's been in jail close to 6 months, Your Honor.
Okay, I am showing that he's over.
Yes, Your Honor.
Days.
Judge, that's correct. He's reached his jurisdictional limit. I'm myself okay with dismissing these cases. I just need to staff the cases. He's been found incompetent, and per the code, our only option is either to try to get him to be rehabilitated or to dismiss the cases. Like I said, I'm okay with dismissing. I just need to run it up the flagpole.
Okay, well, we don't have much time. It makes me uncomfortable that he is in there.
I understand, Judge. I'll do that right now.
So I'm gonna have him come back on Tuesday, on the 2nd at 1:30. So if you can please have everything ready by then.
Yes, ma'am. I'll try to get those dismissal orders sent to you before then, if they're authorized.
Was that
Okay.
1:30 or 10:30, Your Honor?
1:30. I have the jail pod at 1:30.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Okay, Ms. Castaneda, please let him know. Well, they took him away, so. All right.
I'll call and bother you, Eduardo.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. By all means.
Can I be excused, Judge?
Yes, sir. That's all you have?
I think that's all I have on your docket as far as I know.
Okay. Mr. Trejo, you said.
Have a
that
good day,
you had-
Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez. Mr. Trejo, you said that you had Simon Carver that was ready. Is the state showing that that's ready? That's number 42 on the court's docket?
Carver. Yes, that's ready for a PTD placement, Judge.
Okay, thank you. Okay, is Attorney Richard Alamia present? Richard Alamia. Okay, I have CR 1915511-I, State of Texas versus Lisa Guerrero. What is your announcement, sir?
We're ready for a plea, Your Honor. It's a pretrial diversion program case.
Okay, I didn't show that that was ready on my list. Can the state verify?
I'm sorry, Judge. What is the name?
Lisa Lynn Guerrero. That's number 46 on my docket.
I don't have it as ready, Judge.
Mr. Alamia, when did you receive notice that the PTD packet was accepted and she was ready for placement?
On October 19th, we received notice from the DA.
And she already paid her fee and she has her UA and everything?
No, not yet.
Okay,
She hasn't pled out yet.
no, but she should have already had that, received her UA letter.
My last note is that I sent the PTD payment letter on the 19th. I don't have any notes saying that we've received payment. Therefore, I haven't been able to send the document.
Okay, does she recall when she made the payment? The PTD payment letter was sent out on October 19th.
She hasn't made the payment yet, Your Honor.
Then she won't be placed. She has to make the payment and have a clean UA before she's ready for placement.
Okay, you wanna reset it then? She's present.
Yes, she'll need to reset it. So, and you're gonna have to, they will have to send out a new payment letter to you. So I'll have her come back on November the 16th at 1:30.
November 16th?
Yes, at 1:30.
That's fine, Judge. Thank you. She's present for the record.
Yes, sir, I indicated that in my notes as well. Okay, and do I have anyone here from Mr. Rigney's office? Anyone here from John Rigney's office? Okay, anyone here from Sergio Munoz Jr.'s office? Anyone here from Dennis Ramirez's office? Anyone here? Mr. Arredondo didn't stay on. Is Attorney Terry Palacios here? Okay. Mr. Alvarez, I saw you log on. Did you have an announcement on the jail case before I take up the pleas?
No, Your Honor, I only have a family case with you today with Julian Rodriguez, I believe is on the other side. It is,
Okay. So Mr. Perez was not brought in to the jail pond. So we went ahead and we saw on the system that you are set for pretrial and then a trial setting for Monday. So we went ahead and set you up for a DCC for November the 5th at 2:30 p.m. so that
you got it. You got
that
it.
way you know where you're at with your felony and we can set you all up.
November 5th at 2:30 DCC. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, anything else?
No, Your Honor, may I be excused?
Actually, Ms. Canales has let me double check.
Let me see.
I thought I saw something before I let you go. I do
Okay.
see that Ms. Canales was appointed to Carlos Sustaita.
Yes, I do see that. Yes, it's a
Okay.
DWI.
So Deputy, do you have Carlos Sustaita with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Carlos Sustaita, if you can bring him forward.
He's a Spanish speaker, Judge.
Okay. It's CR 21-02286-I, CR 21-08930-I. And Mr. Alvarez, I'm sorry, what is your announcement? I see
Judge,
that.
my understanding, he may have retained other counsel. If I can, maybe we can ask like to see if has retained other counsel. He has a felony case pending, and I think he may have retained other counsel.
Let me, Ms. Castaneda, can you please ask Mr. Sustaita if he has another attorney representing him on this matter?
Mr. Sustaita, ¿usted tiene otro abogado que lo está representando? Your Honor.
I didn't hear him.
Neither did I, Judge. Mr. Sustaita, ¿usted tiene otro abogado que lo está representando?
Sí.
Yes.
Ask him who?
¿Quién? I don't know the name.
Okay, let me see if Ms. Rivera sees it on the system.
Yes, Judge. The retained attorney is Orlando Mercado, Judge.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Will the court allow an oral motion to withdraw, maybe substitution of counsel, Judge?
Yes, the court will allow for Ms. Canales to withdraw from these two cases and to allow Mr. Mercado to substitute. And
Yes,
I'll
sir.
have my office contact Mr. Mercado so he can file his appropriate paperwork. And we'll have Mr. Sustaita come back on November the 30th at 1:30.
That will conclude my business with this honorable court. May I be excused?
Yes.
Thank you. Be safe.
Okay, likewise. Okay, so now we're going to get ready with the pleas. From those individuals that are pleading today, do the attorneys know if any need the services of an interpreter? Do any defendants need the services of an interpreter? Going once? Okay, being that all,
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Jose Osuna, for the record, I was having difficulty lowering my hand and raising it back up to get the court's attention. My client, Matias Juarez, number 11, CR 21-11985I, will require the services of an interpreter. And I cannot recall if my client, Jose Dimas, will. I don't know if it'd be
okay,
possible to
let
question
me
him.
have the deputy bring forward Matias Juarez and Jose Dimas, please.
And Dimas, Juarez and Dimas.
And also Benito Arriaga.
And Your Honor, Mr. Moreno also speaks Spanish.
Okay. And also Luis Moreno.
And Jesus Muñiz Martinez, also, Your Honor, Spanish speaker.
And then if we can have Jesus Muniz.
I have several Spanish speakers, Judge.
Yes, sir. Is Benito Arriaga a Spanish speaker?
English.
Okay. Jose Dimas, is he a Spanish speaker?
English.
Oh, Matias Juarez, is he a Spanish speaker?
Yes.
Okay. Luis Moreno, is he a Spanish speaker?
Yes.
Jesus Muniz, is he a Spanish speaker?
Yes.
And then Martin Pardo, is he a Spanish speaker?
Yes.
And deputy from the female unit, if you can bring forward Samantha Riojas. Ms. Riojas, are you a Spanish speaker? Or do you speak English? I believe you're on mute. Oh, no. Okay, no, you're fine. Ms. Riojas, can you hear me? I need you to speak up. Okay, deputy, there's something wrong with your volume.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so, you're English, sorry about that. All right, and then anyone else a Spanish speaker? Okay. Okay, let me get one announcement out of the way. Miss Savannah, Attorney Savannah Gonzalez.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Okay, CR 1908260-I, Paul Anthony Delgado. Is Mr. Delgado present?
Yes, Judge. Mr. Delgado, please turn on your camera.
Okay, and what is your announcement, Counselor?
Judge, we were set for placement this afternoon and I was using the chat feature with Mr. Delgado. It turns out he has not yet paid his PTD placement fee. If we can get a short reset, Judge, so that he can get that taken care of.
November 16th at 1:30.
Yes, ma'am. And I believe that's all we have for Mr. Delgado and myself. May we be excused?
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you, Judge. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Munoz, I saw that you just logged on CR 21-03123-I, on CR 20-02186-I, State of Texas versus Ivan Lopez. Mr. Munoz? Attorney Sergio Munoz. Mr. Munoz, can you hear me?
Yes, Judge, I can hear you.
Okay, sir, do you have your client Ivan Lopez present?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so sir, what is your announcement?
Judge, I had already signed him up for a plea, Your Honor, just the time that I got the documents, it was, there wasn't a time for me to sign them and file them with the court, so I was just gonna ask if I could get it reset to next week, Judge, or the next available date, so that way I can get them e-filed.
Okay, Miss Rivera, do we still have room on the 4th at 1:30?
Judge, yes, I'm sorry, I didn't know if I was on mute or not. Yes, we have the 2nd or the 4th. Judge.
Okay, Mr. Munoz, would the 4th work for you at 1:30?
Yes, Your Honor, that'll be enough time, and I should file the paperwork no later than today.
All right, then Mr. Maldonado, or Mr. Lopez, I'm sorry, we'll see you on November 4th at 1:30, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, you may be excused.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. Okay, so Ms. Castaneda, you'll need to translate for me. You'll need to translate for me because we have quite a few Spanish speakers. So I'll go slow. So I need for all the defendants to please listen up. Go ahead and translate, Ms. Castaneda.
Necesito que todos los defendientes, por favor, pongan atención.
I'm going to ask you a series of questions.
Les voy a hacer una serie de preguntas.
And I need for you to respond with yes or no.
Y necesito que respondan con sí o no.
Unless I ask for another response.
Solamente que yo les pida otra respuesta.
If you do not understand the question,
si no entienden la pregunta,
then please do not hesitate in asking me to repeat it.
Por favor, no duden en preguntarme que lo repita.
All right. I need everyone to please raise their right hand.
Okay, todos levanten su mano derecha.
Okay. Do you swear that the testimony that you are about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Mr. Benito Arriaga, yes or no?
Juran que el testimonio.
He's not Spanish speaking, Ms. Castaneda. Mr. Dimas, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Matias Juarez, Ms. Castaneda?
Sí.
Okay, Mr. Juarez, usted necesita que espere hasta que traduzca la señora Castañeda. Si no, entonces voy a requerir que usted conteste todas las preguntas en inglés. So, si prefiere contestar en español, necesito que por favor se espere, okay? All right, Ms. Castañeda, go ahead and ask.
Okay. Juran que el testimonio que están a punto de dar es la verdad, toda la verdad y nada más que la verdad. Matías Jiménez Juárez.
Sí.
Yes.
Luis Alonso Moreno.
Sí.
Jesús Martínez Muñiz.
Sí.
Yes.
Martín Pardo.
Yes.
Samantha Riojas.
Yes, Your Honor.
Simon Carver. Simon Atlas Carver. Mr. Trejo, do you see your client on the screen? Okay, I'm gonna skip him and then he's gonna have to start again. Jesus Alberto Cruz. Jesus Alberto Cruz. Angie Gonzalez. Angie Gonzalez.
I'm here, ma'am.
Okay. And do you swear to the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay. And Michael Martinez? Michael Martinez.
I'm here, my honor.
Okay, you need to answer yes or no, sir.
That's my client. He's present.
Okay, well, he needs to answer yes or no. Does he swear that the testimony he's about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help him God?
Yes, my honor. Yes, my honor.
Okay, please pay attention, folks. If not, I'm gonna skip you. Rafael Martinez. Rafael Martinez. Okay, Mr. Garcia, do you see your client on? Arturo Garcia, do you see your client on?
Judge, my client's been on.
Well, I've called his name out 3 times and he has not responded. So do you
He's
see
here
him
on
on the screen?
Yes, Judge, he has a red shirt. He's trying to unmute himself right now. He has a with his wife to help.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, I heard you now. Keep it like that, or else I'm gonna end up skipping you, okay? Okay, so go ahead and lower your hand. Did I miss any defendant, any attorney that is on here that doesn't hear me call their client's name out? No? Okay, Ms. Garza, you're signing in for Melinda Diaz? Oh.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Melinda Diaz is present.
Okay, and Ms. Diaz, okay, you have Mr. Pardo, he's in jail.
Yes,
Okay.
I have number 20. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
They are number 22 and 23 on your docket.
All right, okay, so then in CR 20-10338-I, State of Texas versus Benito Jesus Arriaga, is that your true and correct name, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you're being charged with driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. A Class B misdemeanor carries a potential penalty of up to 6 months in Hidalgo County Jail and up to a $2,000 fine upon conviction. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. NCR 20-04081-I, State of Texas versus Jose Dimas Jr. Is that your true and correct name, sir?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Is it Jose or is it just Jose?
Jose Dimas.
Okay. You're being charged with theft of property of greater than $750, less than $2,500, a Class A misdemeanor, sir. A Class A misdemeanor carries a potential penalty of up to 1 year in Hidalgo County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine upon conviction. Do you understand the range of punishment that you can receive for the offense of which you are charged, sir? In CR 21-11985-I, State of Texas versus Matias Jimenez Juarez, is that your true and correct name, sir?
Matías Jiménez Juárez, ¿ese es su nombre correcto y verdadero?
Sí.
Yes.
You're being charged with driving while intoxicated with a blood alcohol level of greater than 0.15, a Class A misdemeanor. A Class A misdemeanor carries a potential penalty of up to 1 year in Hidalgo County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine upon conviction. Do you understand the range of punishment you can receive for the offense of which you are charged?
Mr. Juárez, ¿está usted frente a esta corte con un cargo de manejar en estado de ebriedad con una concentración mayor de 0.15, que es un delito menor clase A? Un delito menor clase A tiene una multa potencial de hasta 1 año en la cárcel del condado de Hidalgo y una multa de hasta $4,000 por convicción. ¿Entiende usted el rango de castigo que puede recibir por el delito que está acusado? Yes.
In CR 21-08946-I and CR 21-08945-I, the state of Texas versus Luis Alonso Moreno. You're being charged with resisting arrest, search, or transport, a Class A misdemeanor, and driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. Hold on. And Mr. Moreno, for your Class A misdemeanor, that carries a potential penalty of up to 1 year in Hidalgo County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine upon conviction. For your Class B misdemeanor, that carries up to a 6-month penalty in Hidalgo County Jail and up to a $2,000 fine upon conviction. Do you understand the range of punishment that you can receive for the offense of which you are charged?
Luis Alonso Moreno, ¿está usted frente a esta corte con un cargo de resistir el arresto, búsqueda o transporte y un cargo de manejar en estado de intoxicación, un delito menor clase A y un delito menor clase B? Un delito menor clase B tiene la multa potencial de hasta 6 meses en la cárcel del condado de Hidalgo y una multa de hasta $2,000 por convicción. Una ofensa menor clase A tiene una multa potencial de hasta 1 año en la cárcel del condado de Hidalgo y una multa de hasta $4,000 por convicción. ¿Entiende usted el rango de castigo que puede recibir?
Sí.
Yes.
In CR 21-09964-I, State of Texas versus Jesus Martinez Muniz, is that your true and correct name?
Jesús Martínez Muñiz, ese es su nombre correcto y verdadero.
Jesús Muñiz Martínez.
Jesús Muñiz Martínez.
Sí.
Okay, you are being charged with assault causing bodily injury on a family member, a Class A misdemeanor. A Class A misdemeanor carries a potential penalty of up to 1 year in Hidalgo County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine upon conviction. Do you understand the range of punishment that you can receive for the offense for which you are being charged?
Mr. Muñiz, ¿está usted frente a esta corte con un cargo de asalto a lesiones corporales a un miembro de la familia, un delito menor clase A? Un delito menor clase A tiene una multa potencial de hasta 1 año en la cárcel del condado de Hidalgo y una multa de hasta $4,000 por convicción. ¿Entiende usted el rango de castigo que puede recibir por el delito que está acusado?
Sí.
Yes.
CR 21-10790-I, State of Texas versus Martin Acacio, ACACIO, Pardo. Is that your true and correct name, sir?
Martín Acacio Pardo, ese es su nombre correcto y verdadero.
Sí.
Yes.
You're being charged with resisting arrest, search, or transport, a Class A misdemeanor. A Class A misdemeanor carries a potential penalty of up to 1 year in Hidalgo County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine upon conviction. Do you understand the range of punishment that you can receive for the offense of which you are being charged?
Mr. Pardo, está usted frente a la corte con un cargo de fallar en identificar y un cargo de resistir el arresto, búsqueda o transporte, un delito menor clase B y un delito menor clase A. Un delito menor clase B tiene una multa potencial de hasta 6 meses en la cárcel del condado de Hidalgo y $2,000 por convicción. Un delito menor clase A tiene una multa potencial de hasta 1 año en la cárcel del condado de Hidalgo y hasta $4,000 por convicción. ¿Entiende usted el rango de castigo que puede recibir por los delitos que está acusado? Yes.
CR 21077871-I, State of Texas versus Samantha Lorraine Riojas. Is that your true and correct name, ma'am?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, one moment. Mr. Rafael Martinez, do you understand? me, sir? Okay.
Yes.
You are in a location where there is a lot of background noise. So I need for you to either go inside or find a quiet place, sir.
I want to move. Okay.
Okay. Samantha Lorraine Riojas, you're being charged with driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. Ma'am, a Class B misdemeanor carries a potential penalty of up to 6 months in Hidalgo County Jail and up to a $2,000 fine upon conviction. Do you understand the range of punishment that you can receive for the offense of which you are being charged?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. CR 19-03683, -I, State of Texas versus Angie Hernandez Gonzalez. Ms. Gonzalez, is that your true and correct name?
It's Angie Gonzalez.
Okay, where does Hernandez come from?
I have no idea, but I've questioned that myself.
Okay, so it's Angie Gonzalez.
Yes.
All right. And you're being charged with driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. That also carries a potential penalty of up to 6 months in Hidalgo County Jail and up to a $2,000 fine upon conviction. Do you understand the range of punishment that you can receive for the offense of which you are charged?
Yes, I do.
I knew.
CR 20-02637-I. Michael Martinez, is that your true and correct name?
Yes, ma'am.
You're being charged with theft of property of less than $100 with previous convictions, which is a Class B misdemeanor. The Class B misdemeanor also carries a potential penalty of up to 6 months in Hidalgo County Jail and up to a $2,000 fine upon conviction. Do you understand the range of punishment you can receive, sir, for the offense of which you are charged?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. That what I explained to you was called the range of punishment. So now each of you have a right to an attorney, the right to a trial by jury. You can waive one or both of those rights by signing a written document with this court. I'm going to ask you, did you have an opportunity to review that document with your attorney before signing it? And that will be a yes or no response. Mr. Arriaga, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Castañeda, will you please translate it and then we'll do the Spanish-speaking defendants.
Tienen el derecho de un abogado y el derecho para un juicio por jurado, pero pueden renunciar a uno o a los dos de sus derechos firmando un documento con esta corte. Cada uno de ustedes entiende que al firmar ese documento están renunciando a su derecho de un juicio por jurado.
Okay, Mr. Juarez, yes or no?
Mr. Juárez, sí o no?
Sí.
Yes.
Luis Moreno, yes or no? Ms. Castañeda, he's Spanish speaking.
Mr. Moreno, sí o no? Yes.
Jesus Muniz Martinez, yes or no? Okay.
Yes.
Martín Acacio Pardo, yes or no?
Mr. Pardo, sí o no? Yes.
Okay. Mr. Dimas, yes or no?
I mean, we're almost next. He said
Mr.
that
Dimas, yes or
he
no?
took it out to pay bills, and I caught him in a lie and go to cotton
Hold on.
cost.
Ms. Diaz, I'm gonna mute you, okay? Mr. Dimas, yes or no?
Yes.
Ms. Riojas, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Gonzalez, yes or no?
Yes.
Mr. Michael Martinez, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Did each of you understand when you signed that document that you were waiving your right to a trial by jury? Mr. Arriaga, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Dimas, yes or no?
Yes.
Ms. Riojas, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Gonzalez, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Michael Martinez, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Castañeda, will you please translate that?
Entiende que cuando firmen ese documento están renunciando a su derecho de un juicio por jurado, ¿sí o no?
Mr. Juarez, yes or no?
Mr. Juárez, ¿sí o no?
Sí.
Yes.
Mr. Moreno, yes or no?
Yes, sí.
Mr. Muniz Martinez, yes or no?
Yes.
Mr. Pardo, yes or no?
Señor Pardo, ¿sí o no?
Is there a delay to you by any chance, Ms. Castañeda? Is there a delay? Okay. Martin Pardo, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Then the court will accept your waiver of a trial by jury. Has any court ever declared you to be mentally incompetent, crazy, or insane? Yes or no, Mr. Arriaga?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Dimas?
No.
Ms. Riojas?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Gonzalez?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Michael Martinez?
No, my honor.
Okay. Ms. Castañeda, can you please translate?
¿Alguna corte los ha declarado mentalmente incompetente, loco o demente?
Mr. Juarez, yes or no?
Señor Juárez, ¿sí o no?
Mr. Juarez, yes or no?
Señor Juárez, ¿sí o no?
Oh, the jail froze. Rafael Martinez, did you find a quiet place? Okay. Mr. Juarez, yes or no?
No.
Okay, why don't you ask them again, Ms. Castaneda? I do not know that they heard you before they froze.
¿Alguna corte lo ha declarado mentalmente incompetente, loco o demente?
Yes or no, Mr. Juarez?
Mr. Juárez, ¿sí o no?
No.
No.
Mr. Moreno?
Señor Moreno? No.
Mr. Muniz Martinez?
Mr. Martínez? No.
Mr. Pardo?
Mr. Pardo, ¿sí o no?
No.
No.
Okay. Counselors, in speaking with your clients, do you find them to be mentally competent and able to assist you in their own defense? Let me start with Mr. Attorney Ricardo Flores.
Yes, Your Honor, he's competent and able to assist.
Attorney Jose Osuna.
Mr. Dimas and Mr. Juarez, Your Honor, are both competent and have been able to assist.
Attorney Sofia Arispe.
Mr. Luis Alonso Moreno, yes, he is, Judge.
Attorney Calixto Villarreal. Attorney Calixto Villarreal.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes.
Attorney Melinda Diaz.
Mr. Pardo is competent, Your Honor.
Attorney Victoria Muniz.
Ms. Riojas is competent, Your Honor, and able to assist in her defense.
Attorney Eric Flores.
I knew it. Iba a ser.
Ms. Gonzalez is competent and able to assist in her defense, Your Honor.
Attorney Jorge Ortegon.
Mr. Martinez is competent, Your Honor, able to assist in his defense.
Okay. Mr. Garcia, Attorney Arturo Garcia.
Mr. Martinez is competent and able to assist in his own defense, Your Honor.
Okay. Then the court will find that the defendants before the court today are mentally competent and able to assist their attorneys in their own defense. Okay. Now, do each of you understand that if the punishment I assess does not exceed what's recommended by the state, you will need the court's permission if you decide to file an appeal? In other words, you're waiving that, okay? But do you understand that you'll need my permission if you decide to file an appeal? Mr. Arriaga, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Riojas, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Gonzalez, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Rafael Martinez, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Michael Martinez, yes or no?
Yes, my honor.
Okay. Then do you further understand that the court, oh, sorry, the Spanish speakers. Go ahead and translate that.
Entiende que si el castigo que voy a evaluar, si el castigo no excede la recomendación del Estado, ustedes van a necesitar el permiso de esta corte si usted decide presentar una apelación. ¿Entiende eso, sí o no?
Mr. Juarez?
Mr. Juarez?
Sí.
Yes.
Mr. Moreno?
Sí.
Yes.
Mr. Muniz Martinez?
Sí.
Mr. Muñiz Martinez? Yes.
Mr. Pardo?
Mr. Pardo? Yes.
And do you further understand that this court does not have to accept the state's recommendation? Do you understand that? Mr. Arriaga, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Dimas?
Yes.
Ms. Riojas?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Gonzalez, Ms. Gonzalez?
Yes.
Mr. Rafael Martinez?
Yes.
Mr. Michael Martinez?
Yes, my honor.
Okay. At this time, I need to ask you if you're a US citizen. Well, I apologize. Let me let Ms. Castañeda translate that for the Spanish speakers.
¿Entienden que la corte no tiene que aceptar la recomendación del Estado?
And that is Mr. Juarez, yes or no?
Mr. Juarez, sí o no?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Moreno, yes or no?
Mr. Moreno, sí o no? Yes.
Okay, ustedes necesitan que esperar hasta que le hagan la pregunta, porque estamos tratando de grabar todo esto para hacer un record, ¿ok? Y luego es muy importante que nosotros y sus abogados sepan si ustedes están entendiendo la pregunta. Y yo sé que ya están aburridos con este proceso, pero es lo que es. Y ustedes tienen los derechos, los mismos derechos que una persona que habla inglés. So yo necesito saber si ustedes están entendiendo lo que ella le está traduciendo. So por favor, esperen hasta que ella le haga la pregunta, porque yo sé que a lo mejor ustedes saben o entienden un poquito de inglés, pero cuando yo le estoy preguntando en inglés, como ustedes ya pidieron que todo sea traducido en español, ella necesita el momento para traducirlo y para que yo sepa que ustedes también están entendiendo sus derechos. Todos tienen los mismos derechos, ¿ok? So, por favor, esperen hasta que ella le haga la pregunta y ella sí, yo los entiendo, pero ella necesita que decir yes. Ustedes dicen sí, ella tiene que decir yes. Ustedes dicen no, ella tiene que decir no, ¿ok? So, por favor, nomás un poquito más de paciencia y ya menos terminamos, porque yo sé muy bien que ustedes están incómodos porque están parados. Y lo siento mucho, pero es importante en este proceso, ¿ok? All right. Mr. Juárez, ¿sí o no?
Sí.
Mr. Juárez, sí o no?
Sí.
Yes.
Mr. Moreno, ¿sí o no?
Mr. Moreno, sí o no?
Sí.
Mr. Muniz Martínez, ¿sí o no?
Mr. Muñiz Martínez, sí o no?
Sí.
Yes.
Mr. Pardo, ¿sí o no?
Mr. Pardo, sí o no?
Sí.
Yes.
Perfecto. Okay. At this time, I need to ask you, are you a US citizen? And that'll be a yes or no. Mr. Ariaga, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Dimas, yes or no? Ms. Riojas, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Gonzalez, yes or no?
Yes.
Mr. Rafael Martinez, yes or no?
Yes.
Mr. Michael Martinez, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Castaneda, please translate.
Ahora les voy a preguntar si son ciudadanos americanos. Van a contestar con sí o no.
Matías Juárez, yes or no?
Matías Juárez, sí o no.
Sí.
Yes.
Luis Moreno, yes or no?
Luis Moreno, sí o no. No.
Mr. Muniz Martinez, yes or no?
Mr. Muñiz Martínez, sí o no.
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 Mr. Pardo, yes or no?
Mr. Pardo, sí o no.
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 Okay. If you're not a US citizen, then entering a plea or no contest will result in your deportation, exclusion from our country, and denial or admission, exclusion or admission from our country and denial of naturalization under US federal law. Do you understand the consequences of your plea today, Mr. Juarez, yes or no?
Your Honor,
Yes.
can you, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Can you just look at a message real quick, Judge?
Okay. Yes, we're gonna, on Mr. Garcia, yes, Ms. Flores, you're correct. Attorney Arturo Garcia, I'm gonna have to admonish Rafael Martinez for the beginning admonishments. I'm including him right now, but we can't get to his plea until I go ahead and admonish him from the beginning because he is, he was in a noisy place, so he moved. When he came back on, I went ahead and took him so that we could do some of the admonishments with him, okay?
No
But
problem.
we'll have to go back and get the other admonishments, so yes. Okay, so Mr. Juarez already answered yes, that he understood the consequences, and Mr. Moreno?
Si no es ciudadano americano, entonces esta petición va a resultar en su deportación, expulsión de este país y negación de la naturalización. ¿Entiende usted las consecuencias de su petición?
Sí.
Yes.
Mr. Muniz Martinez?
Mr. Muñiz Martínez?
Sí, entiendo.
Yes, I understand.
Mr. Pardo?
Mr. Pardo?
Sí, entiendo.
I understand.
Okay, and understanding the consequences, you still want to move forward with your plea today, Mr. Moreno?
Y entendiendo sus consecuencias, ¿quieren proceder con su petición a hoy?
Sí.
Yes.
Mr. Muniz Martinez?
Mr. Muñiz Martínez?
Sí.
Yes.
And Mr. Pardo?
Mr.
Sí.
Pardo? Yes.
Sí.
Okay, and just for clarification, Mr. Osuna, I did understand your client correctly. He is a US citizen, is that correct?
Mr. Juarez is not a citizen, Your Honor. He did answer in the affirmative. It was of some concern, but the court did nonetheless admonish him that if he's not a U.S. citizen, the plea could result in his deportation, exclusion from the country, and denial of naturalization. But if the court feels more comfortable, Your Honor, I think if he's prompted once again, he'll answer that he is not a citizen because he is not.
Okay, Ms. Castaneda, go ahead and ask Mr. Juarez if he is a US citizen.
Mr. Juárez, ¿es usted ciudadano americano?
Ciudadano.
I'm a citizen.
Do you have that he's a resident, Mr. Osuna?
My understanding is
Maybe
that
they
he has,
confuse it sometimes.
yes, Your Honor, my understanding is that he has no status whatsoever. He does in fact have an ICE hold, which I just double checked on Odyssey.
Okay. He needs to understand, I mean, he has an ICE hold. Let him know he has an ICE hold. So ICE holds are not placed on US citizens.
Mr. Juárez, ¿tiene usted un cargo que no ponen en los que son ciudadanos americanos.
So is he sure that he is a US citizen?
¿Está usted seguro que es ciudadano americano?
Ciudadano.
A citizen.
Pero de cualquier país, ask him from what country.
¿De cuál país?
Mexicano.
Mexican.
Okay, then tell him he is not a US citizen. He is a
Entonces usted
Mexican
no,
citizen.
no es usted ciudadano americano, es ciudadano mexicano.
And knowing the consequences of his plea today, does he still want to move forward?
Y sabiendo usted las consecuencias, quiere proceder. Yes.
All right. Okay, in CR 210338-I, the state of Texas versus Benito Jesus Arriaga, to the offense of driving while intoxicated, a class B misdemeanor, sir. How do you plead? Guilty or not guilty? CR 204081-I, state of Texas versus Jose Dimas Jr. to the offense of theft of property of greater than $750 but less than $2,500, a class A misdemeanor. How do you plead, sir? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
In CR 210781-I, state of Texas versus Samantha Lorraine Riojas, to the offense of driving while intoxicated, a class B misdemeanor, ma'am. How do you plead? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
To the CR 1903683-I, state of Texas versus Angie Gonzalez, to the offense of driving while intoxicated, a class B misdemeanor. How do you plead? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
In CR 202637-I, the state of Texas versus Michael Martinez, to the offense of theft of property of less than $100 with previous convictions, a class B misdemeanor. How do you plead, sir? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Okay, Mr. Rafael Martinez. You need to turn on your camera. Okay. And to Miss in CR 21-11985-I, the state of Texas versus Matias Jimenez Juarez, to the offense of driving while intoxicated with a blood alcohol level of greater than 0.15, a class A misdemeanor, sir. How do you plead? Guilty or not guilty? Ms. Castañeda?
En el estado de Texas contra Matías Jiménez Juárez por un cargo de manejar en estado de ebriedad con una concentración de alcohol mayor de 0.15%, un delito menor clase A. ¿Cómo se declara culpable o no culpable? Mr. Juárez? Guilty.
CR 21-08946-I, state of Texas versus Luis Alonso Moreno, to the offense of resisting arrest, search, or transport, a class A misdemeanor. And in CR 21-08945-I, state of Texas versus Luis Alonso Moreno, to the offense of driving while intoxicated, a class B misdemeanor. How do you plead, sir, on each count? Guilty or not guilty?
En el estado de Texas se encuentra Luis Moreno por un cargo de resistir el arresto, búsqueda o transporte, un delito menor clase A, y en el cargo de manejar en estado de ebriedad por un delito menor clase B. ¿Cómo se declara en cada una de sus ofensas? ¿Culpable o no culpable? Guilty.
In CR 21-10790-I, state of Texas versus Martin Acacio Pardo, to the offense of resisting arrest, search, or transport, a class A misdemeanor. How does he plead? Guilty or not guilty?
En el estado de Texas contra Martín Acacio Pardo por un cargo de resistir el arresto, búsqueda o transporte, un delito menor clase B. ¿Cómo se declara culpable o no culpable?
Culpable.
Guilty.
In that's all the Spanish speakers, right? Yes, okay. And are all of you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily? That'll be a yes or no. Mr. Arriaga, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Dimas, yes or no?
Yes.
Ms. Riojas, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Gonzalez, yes or no? Ms. Gonzalez? Yes or no?
Yes.
You need to speak up, ma'am, because the court reporter has to hear you, and so does the court.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Mr. Michael Martinez, yes or no?
Yes, my honor.
Okay. And Mr. Matias Juarez, yes or no? Ms. Castañeda?
Mr. Matías Juárez, ¿está usted declarando culpable libre y voluntariamente?
Sí.
Yes.
Mr. Moreno?
Mr. Moreno, ¿sí o no?
Sí.
Yes.
Mr. Muniz Martinez?
Mr. Muñiz Martínez?
Sí.
Yes.
And Mr. Pardo?
Mr. Pardo?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay, the court will accept your pleas as being freely and voluntarily given. I will call for state's evidence at this time.
Yes, Judge. State offers plea documents and offense reports as States Exhibit 1, notification and certification of defense right of appeal, States Exhibit 2, waiver of Article 39.14 disclosures as States Exhibit 3, waiver of risks and needs assessment as States Exhibit 4, and for the PTD placement, state offers PTD packets as States Exhibit 5. State would request defense counsel stipulate to venue and jurisdiction of this honorable court. Further, state would request defense counsel stipulate to the fact that all evidence which has been e-filed is sufficient to corroborate this plea.
Okay, any objections, Mr. Flores? Attorney Ricardo Flores?
No objections, and so agreed and stipulated, Judge.
Attorney Jose Osuna?
On behalf of Mr. Dimas and Mr. Juarez, Your Honor, no objection, so agreed and stipulated.
Attorney Sophia Arispe?
Your Honor, as to Luis Alonso Moreno on both cases, no objection and so agreed and stipulated.
Attorney Calixto Villarreal?
No objections to the exhibit, so agreed and stipulated, Your Honor.
Attorney Marcia Diaz?
So agreed and stipulated, no objection, Your Honor.
Okay, Attorney Victoria Muniz?
On behalf of Ms. Riojas, no objection and so agreed and stipulated.
Attorney Eric Flores?
On behalf of Ms. Gonzalez, no objections, Your Honor, so agreed and stipulated.
Attorney Jorge Ortegon?
Your Honor, on behalf of my client, no objection. We do so stipulate to the venue jurisdiction of this honorable court.
Okay, and Attorney Arturo Garcia, we lost contact with Mr. Martinez, so whenever he does get back on, we'll take up the rest of his admonishments.
No problem, Judge. I'm a very patient man.
Well, and apparently I'm a very patient woman too, so we have that in common. Okay.
There you go.
So there being no objections from defense counsel as to the exhibits are hereby admitted and approved. Now, I apologize on the Spanish speakers. Oh, no, we already did that with the attorneys. Okay. So in cause number CR 20-10338-I, State of Texas versus Benito Jesus Arriaga. It is the judgment of the court, sir, that you are guilty as charged. So what is the state's recommendation for Mr. Arriaga?
Judge, for Mr. Arriaga, the state respectfully recommends a $500 fine plus court costs plus 180 days of Daughters County Jail prorated over 1 year, plus an alcohol class, a defensive driving course, mobile alcohol monitoring device for 6 months, 90 days Texas driver license suspension, and 30 CSRs.
Okay, Mr. Flores, any questions or requests on behalf of your client?
No questions or requests, Judge. This is also an, I guess you might say, running together with, he's got a motion to revoke out of the 139th, and that's going to be taken care of tomorrow.
Okay, so then this sentence is to run concurrent with the sentence that is being issued out in the felony court. Is that what you're requesting?
Basically, yes, Judge. And here, like I say, it's due to a plea bargain with Mr. Sosa, I believe, and no, we don't have any requests on the behalf of my client.
Okay, so then he'll also have one probation fee.
Thank you, Judge.
And in light of his plea, I'm gonna go ahead and, does he have a job? Mr. Arriaga, do you have a job when you come out?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is it a full-time job?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, where will you be working, sir?
Or in the oil.
Okay, so they hiring you back?
Yes, ma'am. I was just waiting. I turned myself in to go ahead and take care of this so I can go ahead and take off back to work.
Okay, well, that's good. You know, you're being responsible. So I'm gonna go ahead and waive your 30 CSR hours. I'm gonna run your 90-day Texas driver's license suspension concurrent with any DPS suspension that may be pending. I'm gonna give you 90 days to pay the fine and 90 days to pay the court costs.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, and that the request for it to run concurrent will be granted. Now, Mr. Flores, are you asking for condition 7 to be waived so that he may travel outside of the county for work?
Judge, I could and I would, but the 139 would not allow me to do that. I've had prior history in here before. So they want him to request permission from the probation office, and I guess we can take care of that concurrently.
Okay, well, Ms. Soto knows that I do allow it as long as it's for work and they have proof of work. So if they do allow you, then I'll go ahead and Ms. Soto knows that we'll allow them to travel.
And we do appreciate that, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Anything else?
No, Judge, not from the defense.
All right, okay, well, best of luck to you, Mr. Arriaga.
Thank you.
That concludes my business. May I be excused?
You certainly may, sir.
You have a safe day and everybody be safe.
Likewise. CR 20-08081-I, State of Texas versus Jose Dimas Jr. It is the judgment of the court, sir, that on the theft of property of greater than $750 and less than $2,500, the Class A misdemeanor, you are guilty as charged, and what is the state's recommendation?
Yes, Judge, state respectfully recommends a $100 fine plus court cost plus 10 days Hidalgo County Jail, credit for 10 days.
Okay, and Mr. Osuna, any questions or requests on behalf of your client?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Dimas was just sentenced to 3 years in TDC. We would humbly ask for consideration on costs.
Okay, the court will waive his fines and court costs.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, anything else?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Dimas, best of luck to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. In CR 21-11985-I, State of Texas versus Matias Jimenez Juarez to the offense of driving while intoxicated with a blood alcohol level of greater than 0.15, a Class A misdemeanor. It is a judgment of the court, sir, that you are guilty as charged. Ms. Castañeda?
Matías Jiménez Juárez en el estado de Texas contra Matías Jiménez Juárez en un cargo de manejar en estado de intoxicación con un estado de ebriedad de alcohol mayor de 0.15%. Es la corte lo declara culpable de los cargos de los que está acusado.
Okay, so I understand this will be an open plea to the court. So Mr. Osuna, you may proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Juarez left Veracruz 7 months ago. He left his family. He had good intentions. He came to the United States to work and earn a living. He was residing with a few other 20-something males, and he got himself in some trouble. We don't minimize the fact that this is in fact a Class A, which would have required an allegation that and it's no longer an allegation, he pled that his blood alcohol concentration was over 0.15. But we would just ask the court to consider that within the context of the fact that he's never been in trouble before. I think, and I can speak from experience, sometimes we do foolish things when we're that age. He will be entering into the very chaotic world of federal immigration detention, Your Honor. He will likely spend at least 2 or 3 more weeks in detention. I don't know yet what this court considers to be a modest set of jail time when somebody's facing an ICE hold, Your Honor. But whatever that number might be, if the court has decided what it is, we would just ask for that, Your Honor, maybe somewhere in the range of 25 days, if the court is inclined.
Okay, does the state have a response?
Yes, Judge. Of course, it's an open plea. The state respectfully recommends probation. However, due to the defendant's ICE hold, we understand that the court might be inclined to be granting a straight sentence. Respectively, the state recommends a $400 fine plus court cost plus 1 year Hidalgo County Jail, prorated over 10 months. It's an alcohol course plus defensive driving plus a mobile alcohol monitoring device for 5 months plus 90 days Texas driver license suspension, 15 CSRs, or in the alternative, 40 days Hidalgo County Jail, credit for 8 days as of today, Your Honor.
Okay. So the reality is that he's not going to be able to pay the fines or the court costs, and he's not going to be able to do any of the courses, and that he'll be deported. So I'm gonna sentence him to 30 days in Hidalgo County Jail. And he'll receive credit for the days that he has in there right now, which is 8. And by statute, I'm gonna order the mobile alcohol monitoring device, although I understand that he's not gonna be released. And I'm going to waive the fines and the court costs. Okay,
Yes, Your Honor.
and that'll be the judgment of the court.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So, I don't know, Mr. Osuna, will you be having contact with your client again before?
I do
Or
not.
do you want us to try to explain that to him?
If Ms. Castaneda would explain that to me, Your Honor, I think he would appreciate that, just in case I can't catch him.
Okay. So let him know, Ms. Castaneda, that he's going to be ordered to 30 days in Hidalgo County Jail, credit for 8 days.
Mr. Juárez, la corte lo ordena 30 días de cárcel con crédito de 8.
And then let him know that I'm going to waive the fines and the court costs.
Y también la corte va a renunciar los costos de la corte.
And let him know that by statute, he is ordered to get a mobile alcohol monitoring device. However, I do know that he will be deported.
Por estatura del estado, la corte tiene que ordenar que use un dispositivo de alcohol, pero yo sé que lo van a deportar.
But if by some chance he does escape that, he's ordered to get a mobile alcohol monitoring device.
Pero por si alguna razón se escapa usted de eso, la corte lo ordena a que obtenga un dispositivo de alcohol.
Okay. And that'll be the judgment of the court, and he is excused, and best of luck to him.
Esa es la sentencia de la corte. Le deseo buena suerte. Gracias. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Osuna, anything else?
Oh, Your Honor, may I be excused, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
NCR 21-08946-I, State of Texas versus Luis Alonso Moreno for the offense of resisting arrest, search, or transport, a Class A misdemeanor. The court, it is a judgment of the court that you are guilty as charged, sir. And on CR 21-08945-I, to the offense for the offense of driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. It is a judgment of the court, sir, that you are guilty as charged. Ms. Castañeda?
En el estado de Texas se encuentra Luis Alonso Moreno por un cargo de resistir el arresto, búsqueda o transporte, un delito menor clase A, y en un cargo de manejar en estado de ebriedad, un delito menor clase B. Es la sentencia de la corte que es culpable de los cargos.
Okay. And so what is the state's recommendation?
Yes, Judge, on the resisting arrest, pardon me. The state respectfully recommends a $200 fine plus court costs plus 1 year Delaware County Jail probated over 18 months. It's a life skills course and 30 CSRs. And on the DWI, the state respectfully recommends a $300 fine plus court costs plus 180 days of Delaware County Jail probated over 18 months. An alcohol class, an interlock device for 6 months, 90 days Texas driver license suspension, and 30 CSRs.
Okay, Attorney Sofia Arispe, any questions or requests on behalf of your client?
Judge, the case is to run concurrent, Judge. I believe the felony charge in intake is to be dismissed as part of his plea bargain today, Judge. And he just needs a little time after release from jail to pay his fine and court costs.
Okay, Mr. Sosa, can you please confirm that the felony at intake will be dismissed with the plea on these 2 cases?
1 second, Judge.
And the paperwork needs to reflect that as well.
In previous courts, I've never really included that, but if Your Honor would prefer.
Oh, okay, well, I just think that just to make sure, or unless, are you getting separate paperwork from the felony court, Ms. Arispe, to indicate that?
Judge, I spoke to Murray Moore, Judge, and I understood there was going to be a straight dismissal to the municipality who arrested him, Judge. I don't believe there's a case number assigned to it.
Okay, then yes, it would be up to the municipality, but it does need to be on the record.
I don't see any notes reflecting that, Your Honor, but I mean, I don't doubt defense's representations, and And I can reach out to the court and verify.
And there was an email on October 7th, 2021 that Mr. Sosa, you sent it to me confirming the dismissal on the felony upon a plea of guilty on those 2 misdemeanors.
1 second, I'm sorry about that. That's correct, Your Honor. I'm seeing the email now. My apologies.
Okay. All right, so then the sentences are to run concurrent on both cases, and the felony that is at intake will be dismissed as part of this agreement. And that'll be 1 fine, 1 court cost, 1 probation fee. And Ms. Castañeda, can you ask Mr. Moreno if he's working full-time?
Mr. Moreno, ¿está usted trabajando tiempo completo?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay, well then, as long as he's working full-time, his CSR hours are also waived. His Texas driver's license suspension will run concurrent with the CPS administrative suspension. And the rest of the recommendation I will follow. And we'll be going with the fines and court costs on CR 21-08946-I. Okay, anything else?
Nothing further from the defense, Judge.
Okay, Ms. Castañeda, please let him know. I'm not sure if you can, Ms. Arispe, are you going to be visiting him soon, or?
I'm scheduled to go to the county jail after this plea, Judge, to see other clients so I can see him and explain to him.
Perfect. Okay. Ms. Castañeda, please let Mr. Moreno know that his attorney will be visiting the jail hopefully today, and she will explain to him the sentence.
Mr. Moreno, su abogada probablemente va a estar visitando las cárceles hoy y ella le va a explicar la sentencia de hoy.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, he's excused.
Se puede retirar.
Maybe excuse, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for your patience.
Thank you, Judge.
CR 21-0996 and 4-I, State of Texas versus Jesus Muniz Martinez to the offense of assault causing bodily injury in a family member, a Class A misdemeanor. The court finds that you are guilty as charged, sir, and what is the state's recommendation?
Yes, Judge, the state respectfully recommends a $100 fine plus court costs plus 63 days at Edward County Jail, credit for 63 days.
Okay, and Mr. Villarreal, any questions or requests on behalf of your client?
Judge, we're asking if the court would consider waiving the court cost and the fine. He just got sentenced out of the 389 to 9 months in county, Judge. So he's not going to get released based on this. Today, Your Honor, he'll still have to do another 4 to 5 months, I believe.
Okay, the court will grant that request and waive the fines and the court costs, and the rest of the recommendation I will follow. Okay, anything else?
No, Judge, and I'll advise him. I'll go visit him and let him know.
Okay, so Ms. Castañeda, just let him know that he'll be receiving credit for the time that's been served, and he won't have a fine or a court cost.
Mr. Muñiz Martínez va a recibir crédito por el tiempo que ya estuvo allí y no va a tener costos de la corte.
Okay, tell him he's dismissed.
Se puede retirar.
Thank you, Judge. Excuse.
Yes, sir. Thank you for your patience. CR 21-10790-I, State of Texas versus Martin Acacio Pardo. To the offense of resisting arrest, search, or transport, a Class A misdemeanor. It is a judgment of the court, sir, that you are guilty as charged. What is the state's recommendation?
Yes, Judge, state recommends $100 fine plus court costs plus 56 days at Edward County Jail, credit for 56 days.
Okay, Ms. Diaz, any questions or requests on behalf of the client?
Your Honor, in consideration that he has been there 57 days, Judge, the court might recall this one was set last week, but they didn't bring him from Brooks. I'd ask the court to waive the $100 fine and the court cost, Your Honor.
Okay, that'll be granted. And the rest of the recommendation I will follow.
Judge, I believe there's also a case that needs to be dismissed. The failure to ID.
Oh,
That's
on
correct,
CR,
Judge.
okay, So with the plea on this, it's a dismissal on CR 21-10791-I, is that it?
That's correct, Judge.
Yes.
Okay, then the board will grant that, and the rest of the recommendation I'll follow. Okay, anything
Thank
else?
you. Nothing further, Judge?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, tell him, Ms. Castaneda, please let Mr. Pardo know that it's a zero fine, zero court cost, and that he's getting credit for the time he served of the 56 days.
Okay, Mr. Pardo, los multas es 0 y 0 y le van a dar crédito por los 56 días que ya estuvo ahí.
Gracias,
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
Okay, thank you. CR
Judge.
21, yes.
That's it for us.
Yes, sir, that is.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Thank you so much, sir. Appreciate your patience.
Thank you, Judge.
CR 21-07871-I, State of Texas versus Samantha Lorraine Riojas to the offense of driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. It is a judgment of the court, ma'am, that you are guilty as charged. What is the state's recommendation?
Yes, Judge. State recommends a $100 fine plus court cost plus 56 days in Howard County Jail. Credit for 56 days. Or I'm sorry, Judge. Pardon me. It's 100 days in Howard County Jail. Credit for 104 days.
Yes. Okay, Ms. Muniz, any questions or requests on behalf of your client?
Judge, just asking for consideration on the fine and the court costs. She did spend over 100 days in jail, and she's actually going to be sentenced to state jail time, I believe in the next 2 weeks out of the 206.
Okay, the court will waive her fine and her court costs, and the rest of the recommendation I will follow. Ms. Riojas, I wish you the best of luck, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. That's all we have, Judge.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for your patience. Okay, Ms. Muniz, anything else?
That's all I have, Judge. May I be excused?
You certainly may.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, in CR 1903 683-I, the State of Texas versus Angie Gonzalez to the offense of driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor, ma'am. It is the judgment of the court that you're guilty as charged. However, you're asking to be placed on the pretrial diversion program. Is that correct, ma'am?
Yes.
And the pretrial diversion program is a contract that you're entering into with the state of Texas, whereby you're agreeing to comply with certain conditions of the PTD program. In exchange, the state is agreeing to dismiss the charges against you if you successfully complete the program. Did you understand the terms and conditions of the program as they were explained to you by your attorney, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there anything on there that you cannot realistically meet?
I did have a question about the classes for probation. I do work full time, and by the time I get out, it's around 7. I don't know if there's any way I could work around that.
Okay, are you talking about the alcohol class?
Yes.
Okay, I believe those are online, or Ms. Soto, can you help me?
So that we can.
Online via Zoom.
Okay, so Mr. Flores, I mean, I'm gonna get her phone number anyway, and she'll talk to Ms. Soto, but those classes are online, so she'll have an opportunity to do them via Zoom. I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Is that for me?
No, I couldn't hear Mr. Flores.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. We'll get with Ms. Soto most definitely.
Okay, do you have any other questions or requests on behalf of your client?
No additional requests at this time, Your Honor.
Okay, so what is her 1-year reset date? Ms. Rivera, what's her 1-year reset date?
Yes, Judge, it's 10/25/2022, October 25th, 2022.
At 9:30 a.m.
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Gonzalez, and what's your phone number?
956-363-8312.
I'm sorry, what were the last 4 digits?
8312.
Okay, The probation department will contact you at their earliest convenience. And then they will discuss with you the course, okay?
Okay.
All right, anything else?
No, that'll be it, ma'am, for me.
Okay. Mr. Flores, anything else? Okay, I think there's something wrong with your audio. I can't hear you, but I understood that there was nothing else.
Thank you, Your Honor. You have a good
Okay,
day.
you too, thank you. You're excused, Ms. Gonzalez. In
Thank you,
CR
ma'am.
20-02637-I, State of Texas versus Michael Martinez to the offense of theft of property of less than $100 with previous convictions, a Class B misdemeanor. It is a judgment of the court, sir, that you are guilty as charged. And what is the state's recommendation?
Yes, Judge, state recommends a $100 fine plus court costs plus 1 day Dow County Jail credit for 1 day.
Okay,
Your Honor,
Mr. Go ahead.
Your Honor, respectfully, we would consider any consideration on the fine and court cost, Judge. This would normally have been a Class C misdemeanor, but there were some priors, Judge. We were able to work out this time served recommendation. My client is indigent. I am appointed to represent him, Your Honor. And we would respectfully request consideration on the fine and court cost, Judge, so that it will be a true time served recommendation, Your Honor.
Okay, and Mr. Martinez, are you currently working full-time right now?
I'm disabled, ma'am.
He's
Oh.
disabled, Your Honor, and the incident actually did cause problems for him as well.
Okay, so I'm gonna waive the fine and the court costs, and I'm gonna waive his 20 CSR hours, and the rest of the recommendation I'll follow.
So it's 1 for 1, Judge, 1 day credit for 1 day.
Okay, hold on, sorry. I wanna apologize. I'm having a lot of problems with my eyes right now. I don't know if it's the screen and that, but hold on. So we're gonna waive the fines and the court costs, and you want a true time served. So his true time served, is that what you're asking for, right? Because it would have been a Class C? Mr.
Yes, Judge,
Ortega?
so the state gave, yes, Your Honor, the state offered 1 day credit for 1 day, but they added a $100 fine and court cost, which is something they always do. I had spoken to the prosecutor and they didn't mind me asking. We were asking that the fine and court costs be waived because my client is indigent, Your Honor. So what we would be asking for is the 1 day credit for 1 day with him not having to pay the fine and court costs.
Okay, got you. Okay, that'll be granted. So
Thank
we
you so
will
much,
be
Your Honor.
following
And
that. Go ahead.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Your Honor. And that's all I have. May my client and I be excused at this time?
Yes, you may be excused. I'm sorry, guys. I'm
Thank
gonna
you.
have to turn off the video. It's really hurting my eyes. I don't know what's going on. It might be my allergies. I don't know. Okay.
Can I be excused, my honor?
Yes, Mr. Martinez, I'm sorry. Yes, you may be excused, and good
Right.
luck to you, sir.
All right, thank you, my honor.
Okay, so hold on. Did we ever get Mr. Garcia?
Yes, Judge.
Did we get your client back on?
He was on and he had his microphone on, and I don't know if
Okay, I had
I think
two
it's
people
okay.
in the waiting room that just logged in right now. So he's one of them and somebody else is one of them. Okay, before I move on, let me go ahead and have, let me see. Kevin, what's your last name, Kevin?
Judge, that's my client, Kevin Reina.
Okay, CR 20-15667-I, State of Texas versus Kevin Alexander Reina. And
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr.
Good morning.
Okay, good afternoon. So Mr. Reina,
Good afternoon,
your attorney has some additional things that need to get done on the case. Is that correct, Ms. Canto del Bosque? I'm sorry.
Yes, Your Honor, I had announced that we're going to try to apply for the pretrial diversion and hopefully get him some accommodations since he lives out of town.
That's right. Okay, so we're gonna reset you to, you said November 16th at 1:30 would be fine. Is that correct?
That should be fine, Your Honor.
Okay, then we'll see you then, Mr. Reina, okay?
Okay, Your Honor.
All right.
Thank you very much, Your Honor, for accommodating us.
Yes, ma'am, no problems.
Have a good day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, so then I think the only, Mr. Trejo, did you ever get your client on?
Yes, Judge, he's here in my office. He's ready for a plea.
Okay. Was he there the whole time?
Yes, but that's okay, Judge. We're having fun here, waiting.
I know. All right, so who is this on the GLMAR iPhone?
I believe that's my client, Judge.
So he's on 2 devices?
Oh. Oh, I guess he's not.
Okay.
I can see here, Judge. That's disregard.
Okay. All right. Let me see. Well, they haven't connected to audio. So I don't know who that is.
Mr. Martinez, can you unmute yourself?
Okay, so before we move on, so Mr. Trejo, you have Simon Carver in your office, correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, and did my staff hear from number 43,
Got it.
Jesus Alberto Cruz, or the attorneys?
I don't want to hear the music.
No, Judge, we did not hear from them. Let me just check on the system. There's not another recent date that we missed. Actually, Judge, this case has been dismissed.
Oh, okay. Even better. Okay, so then the only ones that we have present right now that need to plea, it's Rafael Martinez and Simon Carver, correct? Because we do not know who's on that iPhone. Okay, so Mr. Martinez, can you get it to a location where you can just stop and listen?
Okay.
All right, so just go ahead and stop.
Okay.
Because if not, you're gonna make me dizzy.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
I'm in Orlando, Florida, and Disney World. That's why.
What?
I'm in Orlando.
I don't think you should be telling us that. We're gonna be jealous.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Your attorney's shaking his head. All right. Okay. We're gonna pretend that you're in the most horrible place on earth right now, okay? Before we move on.
Oh.
Okay, so Mr. Martinez and Mr. Martinez and Mr. Carver. I know, Mr. Martinez, you may have already done this, but we're gonna have to start from the beginning because we need to get a complete and accurate record. So I need both of you to raise your hand, right hand.
All right.
Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Mr. Martinez, yes or no?
Yes.
Mr. Carver, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and CR 20-07275-I, State of Texas versus Simon Atlas Carver, is that your true and correct name?
Yes, Your Honor.
And CR 1915026-I, State of Texas versus Rafael Martinez, is that your true and correct name?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you may lower your hands. And Mr. Carver, you're before the court for driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. Mr. Martinez, driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. And that's a Class B misdemeanor carries a potential penalty of up to 6 months in Hidalgo County Jail and up to a $2,000 fine upon conviction. This is called a range of punishment. Do you understand the punishment that you can receive for the offense of which you are charged, Mr. Carver, yes or no? Mr. Martinez, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, you have a right to an attorney and a right to a trial by jury. You can waive one or both of those rights by signing a written document. Did you have an opportunity to review the document with your attorney before signing it, Mr. Carver, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Martinez, yes or no?
Yes.
Did you understand that when you signed that, you were waiving your right to a trial by jury, yes or no, Mr. Carver?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes or no, Mr. Martinez?
Yes, Your Honor.
And then the court will accept your waiver of a trial by jury. Has any court ever declared you to be mentally incompetent, crazy, or insane, Mr. Carver, yes or no?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Martinez, yes or no?
No.
And speaking with your clients, do you find them to be mentally competent and able to assist you in their own defense? Mr. Trejo, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and Mr. Garcia, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then the court will make a finding that the defendants before the court are mentally competent and able to assist their attorneys in their own defense. Do each of you understand that if the punishment I assess doesn't exceed what's recommended by the state, you'll need this court's permission if you decide to file an appeal? Yes or no, Mr. Martinez?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, yes or no, Mr. Carver?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you understand that I do not have to accept the recommendation of the state? Mr. Carver, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Martinez, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Carver, are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Martinez, are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
NCR 20-7275-I, State of Texas versus Simon Atlas Carver. To the offense of driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. How do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty, Your Honor.
NCR 19-15026-I, State of Texas versus Rafael Martinez. To the offense of driving while intoxicated. How do you plead, sir? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Okay, then are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily, Mr. Carver?
Your Honor.
I couldn't hear you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Martinez, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes. Yes.
Then the court will accept your pleas as being freely and voluntarily given, and I'll call for state's evidence at this time.
Pardon me, Judge, I was on mute. State offers plea documents and offense reports as States Exhibit 1, notification, certification, and defense right of appeal, States Exhibit 2, waiver of Article 39.14, disclosures as States Exhibit 3, waiver of risk and needs assessment as States Exhibit 4, and PTD PAC as States Exhibit 5. State would request defense counsel stipulate to venue and jurisdiction of this honorable court. Further, state would request defense counsel stipulate to the fact that all evidence which has been e-filed is sufficient to corroborate this plea.
Okay, any objections from defense counsel?
No, Your Honor.
No, Judge, no objection, so stipulated.
Okay, so on cause number CR 20-7275-I, State of Texas versus Simon Atlas Carver. It is a judgment of the court, sir, for your driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor, that you are guilty as charged. And what is the state's recommendation?
Pardon me, Your Honor.
Oh, he's on PTD placement. I'm sorry.
Sure. No, you're fine.
And and so is Mr. Martinez. Sorry about that. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
so both of you are asking for pretrial diversion. Mr. Garcia, see, you get some that are approved. Because the first time he appeared in front of me, he said the state never approved his PTD packet. Now he got one by them. So then you both need to understand that you're entering into a contract with the state of Texas. You're agreeing to comply with certain conditions. In exchange, the state's agreeing to dismiss the charges against you if you successfully complete the program. Did you understand the terms and conditions of the program as explained to you, Mr. Carver?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Martinez, did you understand them?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So do any of you have any problems with meeting those terms and conditions? Mr. Carver, yes or no?
No.
Okay, Mr. Martinez, yes or no?
No.
All right. Then the court has no problem in placing you into the pretrial diversion program. Your next setting is going to be on October 25th, 2022. And that's the same
25th.
for Mr. Martinez as well, October 25th, 2022. And that'll be your 1-year pretrial diversion, I guess, like checkup. See if you did what you needed to do, okay? Now, okay, so Mr. Carver, can I get a phone number for you?
The phone number which I can be reached at is 817 area code 372-0604.
Okay, and do you already have an alcohol monitoring device?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Sosa, are they being required to get one?
Judge, I would defer to the court on both.
Well, they're Class Bs, they're both, it's his first DWI, isn't it?
So they're not required.
Okay.
Judge, the mobile interlock devices, Judge, is that what you're referencing to?
Yes.
Judge, if they're PTD placements, I do know that the state does require them to be.
Actually, that's correct, Your Honor. I'm sorry. We would require an interlock device.
Okay, so I'm gonna order a mobile alcohol monitoring device. I didn't know if something had changed because I knew that on the PTDs, they require them. They have to have at least a mobile or an interlock. So usually I'll ask if they have a mobile or an interlock, I'll let them stay with that. And if not, then I'll order them a mobile. So, Mr. Carver, you're to get the mobile alcohol monitoring device within 48 hours. And the probation department will contact you at their earliest convenience to give you some information on the vendors, okay? So, Mr. Martinez, when do you return?
Return when we return?
We'll be there by Saturday.
Saturday,
Okay.
the 30th.
All right, then I'm gonna order you to get your mobile alcohol monitoring device unless, do you already have an interlock or a mobile alcohol monitoring device?
No.
Okay,
I don't
you'll
know
need
where
to
to
get
get
it. It's okay, they're gonna give you the information, but
Okay.
you're gonna have to get it by November the 2nd.
November the 2nd. Okay.
Yes, what is your phone number?
279-8007.
Okay. So, Mr. Martinez, the probation department is going to contact you. I know you're gonna be at Disney World, but try to answer them and see if you have something to write with, because it's
Okay.
important that you have that information with you by the time you get back on Monday, okay?
Okay.
All right?
Yes.
So, all right, well, be careful out there.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Garcia?
I have nothing further, Judge, if we may be excused.
Yes, both of you are excused. Go have fun, Mr. Martinez.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Mr. Trejo?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
We'll see you next time.
Yes. Ms. Salazar? Your attorney has not shown up, ma'am.
I know.
So, I know you've been waiting pretty much all day. So I don't know what you want to do, but you need to contact them and we do need to address your violations. So I'm gonna have you, I guess we'll have to reset you for Tuesday and see if he can come in on Tuesday. So it'll be Tuesday at 9:30, okay?
Okay, Your Honor.
All right, well, take care.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, so if my staff can please contact Mr. Sergio Sanchez's office, let him know of the new date and that he must be on that day.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so number 55, do we have a new setting on that by any chance?
No, Judge, just, let me just check the system, 1 second. I don't have it on my.
Okay, so it's gonna, nobody's called in, so. Okay, mark that one, Mr. Damian,
Yes, ma'am.
and nobody called in on 58?
No, Judge.
And we just had her, so, and mark that one. Okay, so call those two names 3 times, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Jose Manuel Ramirez III, Jose Ramirez III, Jose Ramirez. Claudia Alejandra Cruz, Claudia Cruz, Claudia Cruz.
Okay, those two names being called out 3 times and no response, what says the state?
Yes, Your Honor. State requests that a judgment in NYSE be granted to keep this issue and all bonds forfeited for these no-show defendants.
Okay, and that'll be granted. Okay, that concludes this afternoon's docket. Let me stop the live stream. I do not know who is this iPhone.